episode 2 of the Non-Normie Club. Happy New Year's, everyone. Hope you're having a good year so far. Sorry for the delay. There was a renovation project, so I have to move everything out of my room, and I haven't put everything back yet. So I haven't been buying some of my clothes, so that's why I'm still wearing this Christmas hoodie. um, so another crazy thing happened in my life. Some personal things. So you never know what going to happen in your life, which is today's topic is going to be about the new year and about moving forward. So last year I had a really bad year and I had to deal with two very dangerous housemates. And I still feel like my life is still in danger because these people, they could come back at any time to get me. Um, so you never know what's gonna happen in your life, and you really don't know someone until you start to live with them and get to see their true true self. So, the normie can judge people and just say that, you should have seen that coming. If I was in your situation, you would do this and this and this. Mm. That's all just like just them talking, okay? You don't know how to deal with the situation, or you don't even know how to deal with it in general until things happen. So nobody can see into the future. So if you're in a situation where your friend or your family is blaming you for things and then they say that you should have seen that coming, they don't know that. They can't even see that coming themselves, but they just assume that because they're watching from the outside, but they're not in the same situation as you. So even if you put them in the same situation that you, they would not deal with it like the way that they tell you to deal with it because they've never been in that situation. So when they are put into that situation, they probably go blank. They probably don't know what to do right away. So, just don't blame yourself that you get into a situation, a difficult situation, and other people around you is blaming you. It's not all your fault. You just have to focus and think of a solution to get help. For example, I apply at the courthouse to get a restraining order on these dangerous people. And you also have to stay vigilant. So I plan to take some martial art class and also learn how to use a gun to protect myself because the world we live in is getting more crazy. There is mass shooting happening more often. There is other shooting incident that is happening more often. You can't just sit still and assume that the police is gonna come in time to save you every time. And you can't assume that the police is going to save you. For example, there's a story about a woman calling a police officer, and they did come, and then she was explaining the situation to them. And one of the crazy police officer, he just got up and shoot the woman. Like she haven't done anything dangerous to him. And then when they did the investigation, they find out that this police officer have a track record of doing poorly on the job because he would come into work like hangover from getting drunk, and he have a lot of other issue on his record. But the reason why he got that job is through a friend. Therefore, don't depend entirely on the police to save you. Always watch out for yourself. we must always stay vigilant. Okay. So, do whatever you need to learn how to be prepared for any situation, any dangerous situation that you will get into potentially. You could find a safe place to hide. You could get some uh, you know, pepper spray just in case. If you're indoor, that work well, but depending on the wind direction if you're outdoors, so it could work against you. People always recommend pepper spray, and then I always tell them, yes, if the wind direction is your favorite. So just think of anything else that you could use to, you can even use your key to temporarily just injure them enough for you to get away. Situation like that, you never know. It's a crazy war out there. The second thing that I want to talk about is that even though everybody is talking about the New Year resolution, you don't need to have like any outstanding New Year resolution, such as having your best year ever. It could just be as simple as I want to survive this year, make it out alive. But more important is that your long term goals, such as mine is to become a robot engineer and to move out of my parent house. So I gradually work toward these goals each year. And I was lucky enough last year to be able to find a small entry level job in the field that I wanted to go into, which is robotic. Um, and it's very basic entry level position. I get to at least I get to work with the robot. The pay is not that great. It's just above minimum wage, but I'd rather be doing that than going back to doing IT support, which is my background, because I don't like that environment of constantly dealing with end users. It's never too late to change career. You know, Even someone like me who have a mental learning disability, I learn slower than other people. It's why I don't do well in college. I barely survived college. So now I'm just learning things on my own, at my own pace, through watching YouTube video, to reading books about robots. If you have learning challenges like me, you can still achieve those things. You can still learn complex subjects such as robotic or anything else. You just have to find the right person that can explain it to you in the way you can understand it and go at your own pace. Like, rewatch that video as much as you want. There is nobody sitting in the classroom and that you have to feel like you have to catch up to everyone else, even though you can't because of your mental disability. So, you know, it might be a long journey, but if take as long as you need to get there, okay? Just don't get caught in like by the end of the year you did not achieve anything big. That's not important. What's important is the small progress. And the last thing I want to talk about is um, the going forward about how this podcast is gonna be like. Um, I don't have a structure because, like I already mentioned, I have challenges. So when I write a script, I can't remember it. So I usually just go off topic or I improvise, which is why there's no intro, outro like a regular podcast. I can't do that. If I try to do that, it would take me like years before I even started this. And I want to start this podcast like about 3 years ago, but things just keep happening in my life and it just keep getting pushed back. So what I said to myself is that I'm gonna put it out there, and regardless of if it's good enough or not, it does not matter because my goal is not to become the most popular, not to have the most follower that listening to my podcast. It is to express myself, to to show what I learned throughout my life journey, to reach the people that are in the same situation as me and that they feel the same way as me. Um, to reach people who are neurodivergent, people who have a learning disability, people who are different, you're queer, uh, you just feel like you're not being accepted by people around you. So if you don't have anybody that you feel similar to, maybe listen to this podcast might make you feel better because there are people like you that are facing similar problem as you. So, and then I don't, I can't edit the video either because it's just so like I try to, but it's just so much um steps that's go into it and that I can't remember all the steps and that it's just like it's more time consuming and in that time it could be, studying about robot. This is a hobby for me and I want it to sound authentic. I don't want it to sound like some really polished podcast thing. It doesn't feel authentic to me at that point. It just feel like I'm just trying to get sponsor and make money and get more listener at that point. Um, and also my job, I I have to work at random time when people call out. So it's not gonna be a set schedule when I upload new episode. In other situations, such as I have to go to the court hearing next week. So I don't know how that go. I might have to go to more court hearing. I don't know. So, you know, it's so I try to make it sound authentic and to match a style that I feel it would be authentic. I don't try to copy other people out there just to be popular, which is why, you know, some of these things sound random, but it's just how my brain work and I just can't, you know, just keep to one structure. So that's how it's gonna be. Um, until next time, I hope to find some time next week to upload a new episode. Um, if not, probably the following week. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time.